All right, let's talk about a trade that was supposed to happen that didn't happen, that ended up happening later on, that really won't move the needle in terms of the NBA landscape come June. But because we live in this 24-hour news cycle, people were losing their minds over Ariza for Oubre and Rivers. Like, what? Who are these guys?
I felt bad for Dylan Brooks because someone mixed him up for Mark.
Well, hold on, wait,
Brooks.
I
felt bad.
Let's hash out the details. I'm going to ask this. Who do you blame for the way this played out? There's three people involved here. There's GMs from Memphis, Phoenix, and Washington. Dan, where do you go when you place blame?
Who was the team who thought they were getting Dylan Brooks?
Phoenix.
Was it Phoenix?
Yes.
They screwed up. Okay. To me, they didn't dot the I's and cross the T's on the deal that was being made. They're the ones who should have made it crystal clear and said, we're getting Dylan Brooks, right? So somewhere there was a mistake, and they were the ones who, to me, did not make sure they were getting what they want when the deal was sent to the league.
And Scott
For you, Gareth, who are you blaming?
Can I just first off say these are three of the worst franchises in the NBA? Can I say that?
Someone tweeted this is
Washington's an embarrassment. Phoenix is a mess, and Memphis. This is karma coming back at them because they've lost some real good Fizdale. Like how that happens in Memphis. Anyways,
two good coaches.
Three junk organizations, but I'll just blame the Washington Wizards because they're the worst out of the three.
I'm blaming Houston because we shouldn't even be here. Ariza should still be playing for Houston. I'm adding a fourth one in there. I mean, come on.
All right, I'll throw this in there. I have a very good friend who's a source, and apparently they were trading Dylan Brooks and backed out once it became public. So there's so many levels.
Why didn't you just say that at the beginning?
And they traded even health information. So there's a lot coming out of this situation that's super strange. But, of course, the big part of this whole thing is Trevor Ariza going to Washington is supposed to be the thing we're celebrating here out of this deal, right? But does this move the needle for you? Is he good enough to save this Washington group, or we just forget about this come free agency? Dan?
I mean, look, he's a nice player who I think would help a championship level team.
They are not a championship
I don't think he does much for Washington. It's just part of what they're doing, which is kind of trying to clean house of a roster of guys who just have not worked out. I don't understand how he helped. Like as Amy was saying, he was a cog in that Houston system.
Locker room guy.
He would help Houston, but Washington, no, they're going nowhere fast, and I don't think he does anything to change what they're doing.
Threes, baby, that's a shot.
You the North.
Yeah, I know.
You would look great up here.
I kind of think Washington acquired him so that some of their opponents in the East couldn't get him.
I also did, I don't know if it was I read it or I heard it this week, that he gets along really well with John Wall, and I don't know if that's something
I have heard that too,
And
yeah.
so I mean, that actually might be, well, exactly, right? I mean, is he going to provide stability? Is anyone, you have to be one, you got to want to
John
accept
Wall's
that.
got that deal, right?
Yeah.
And so he's the one guy they can't move, so they almost have to build the roster around Wall.
All right, so let's talk about the other debacle in this whole thing, Phoenix. So Phoenix, this is amazing to me personally. They traded for Kelly Oubre and Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers they waived. Kelly Oubre is a restricted free agent this summer, okay? You think about the fact that they waived Tyson Chandler. NBA GMs are scratching their heads because James Jones, who's currently running that front office, is doing things outside the windows of when they should be done, according to, like, the CBA. I'm not sure he knows the CBA. What do you believe is happening in Phoenix? I'll start with you, Amy. What is going on there? Sarver refuses to trade to the Lakers. They're making all sorts of weird decisions, and they got the #1 pick.
Yeah, I think they're, I don't know what goes on in that locker room, maybe trying to make him happy. They really like, is it Melton, DeAnthony Melton, I think, because they let go of Austin Rivers. Now they've got all these wings that they have too many wings, but I don't know. I think they're just completely restructuring, rebuilding, and trying to move numbers for next year. I mean, it is a pretty weird situation.
Gareth, I want to hear your thoughts.
When you perpetually try to build and rebuild and tear it down and do it all over again, I think you kind of get lost in the shuffle. What I do know that they have is Devin Booker, and that's a legitimate piece, no matter how you want to slice it. So you got this. You don't have an arena that you like. You don't have any players that you like. You have a #1 overall pick. I don't know. To me, this is just what bad organizations do. It just becomes a vicious cycle, and they're stuck right in the middle of it.
Yeah, don't try. Oh, sorry, we got to go to break, but I will say this one thing. If you're in Phoenix, do not trust the process. Do not. Time to go to Sweet's Sour Play of the Week. And for this one, we go, you like that? Look at that face.
Amazing.
Taj Gibson, the mighty Tajay, playing defense with one shoe in his hand, running around with his socks, attempts to block a shot with the shoe, giving him that extra 6 to 7 inches of reach. The NBA should really investigate that.
Who throws a shoe anyways?
Hangout.
Should have let him.
Is he wearing KDs?
Iranians throw shoes. Remember Bush?